Hi, it's Roni, and welcome to Jessie B Scrapbooking's 300 subscriber celebratory hop and giveaway. Yeah, 300 subscribers. That is so awesome. And this is the layout that Jessie made, and I'm going to scrap lift. Jessie does 8.5 by 11s. However, she scrap lifts 12 by 12 all the time. So I know I can scrap lift an 8.5 by 11. And it's also punched out Thursday to die for. So I will be using my dies and a punch. So yeah, so a few dies and one punch. And I'm going to scrap this picture of my nephew and his family. I'm going to use this diamond press die. All I'm going to use is a pine cone and then the Brutus Monroe leaves. I showed 3 different embossing folders: Anna Griffin, Doris, and Paper Studios. I do not know the names of them, but I used all 3 on the leaves. Not all 3 at the same time, not all on one leaf. I just kind of separated them out. One's a wood grain though, and I did use it on the little round looking one. And feathers on the oak leaf ones, and then the maple leaf. I don't remember what that one was. It was the Anna Griffin one. No, that was the feather one. Oh, I used a script one on the maple leaves. You would think I'd remember. I just done this earlier today. I am using different inks on them, and I thought I picked up the mustard seed for the first color of yellow. I didn't. I will notice it later, and it will get used, but just not on the leaves. I just don't even know how I didn't pay attention to what I was actually picking up. I am using the yellows, the orange, the greens, 2 different colors of green on here, bundled sage and peel paint. And I'm also using some vintage photo. It's the darker brown that I'm using. I'm using rusty hinge. I'm using a lot of different colors because there's so many colors in fall. And I spritzed them all with water just now, and now I'm wrinkling them up a little bit. And then I'm going to let them dry and come back, and I will be inking them some more. This time when I'm inking them, I'm making sure I'm inking the wrinkles so they'll show up better. And I'm darkening the edges on here, and I'm making sure the stem's darker too. Jessie has autumn leaves on her layout, and if I'd had the right color of red, I would have had some red in mine too, but I didn't realize till I was doing these that I do not have the right color of red. I had holiday red, and I had fire brick red. Anyway, both are really red. And that fire brick, I don't know what came up with that one. It is a nasty mess. It's like glob. Instead of ink, it's like a glob on there. I didn't even want to touch it. It might have worked, but I didn't want to touch it. I remembered while editing the video, though, that I do have a barn red that's close to my heart that might have worked. But I haven't used it in a while. And some stuff kind of changes color. Speaking of that, the one I'm putting on here right now, I'm just sprinkling on there, is Mr. Huey's, and it's Sunshine. And I even replaced my bottom layer of paper on my layout using it on a layout because it looks so awful. But I figured it'd work for this. The thing is, it looked great on here. I'm using warm calico now, and it's kind of a dark brown. I do not know what color it was to start with. Like I said, some of my Mr. Huey's have changed colors. And this one is Manila, I believe. It has definitely changed colors. I remember it's not the same. This color that I'm using last is a Glimmer Mist, and it's called Chalkboard, and it's like my favorite one to use on leaves. If you don't shake it up really good. I tried not to, but I think I shook it up better than I should have. because if you don't shake it up like you should, it'll have different shades, and it kind of look like mildew on the leaves. I know that's a funny thing to like on your leaves, but it makes them look more natural. And now I'm using glossy accents, and I'm just putting dewdrops on them. And I did let them dry. It looks like I super quick grabbed them up, but I did let them dry. And on her layout, she does have three paint drops coming down. So I'm going to have three. I'm going to have one in brown, orange, and yellow. And just let them drip down. And her photo is a square, and she has a circle around it. She made that circle, handmade it. But I'm not going to have a circle around there mainly because I have a rectangular photo, and it really would have looked funny. I backed my photo in the same colors I'm making my title in. And oh, here, I am going to have a circle, and I'm going to use, well, I made sure when I cut out one each of the leaves that I spaced them out so I could use it like a stencil. And I'm going to ink and go around that circle to make it look like a circle. So I am paying homage to the circle that she made, only I'm doing it a little bit different. Not that you'll see much of it, but it will be peeking out a little bit here and there. You all will know it's there. I'll know it's there, but everybody else, maybe not so much. But while I'm doing this, I want to mention that down there below will be the links to everybody that's in the hop today, helping Jessie celebrate the 300 subscribers. Jessie's also having a giveaway, so make sure you go to her channel, subscribe, make a comment, and get in on the giveaway. And also, it is Punched Out Thursday to die for. So lots of ideas with punches and dies if you follow those links. Sorry, I got distracted there. I thought I cut a little bit of this out, but apparently I left all of it in there for y'all to see. And all I'm doing is stenciling. And if y'all don't have those brushes, really should get some. It makes it so much easier when you're doing something like that. Yeah, it looks like I'm showing you all of them. So, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. But, yeah, you can go right over the top of whichever you were already doing, and whichever one's the darkest looks like it's on top. I pulled my picture back out, which I matted while everything was drying earlier, and decided that maybe I would like to have it distressed a little bit, the matting on the bottom. So yeah, I pulled my scissors out and did some distressing. The layer right beneath the photo, it doesn't have quite as much because I glued that baby down pretty good. My leaves, I'm going to try to make them look kind of like a circle, but they look like a wonky C instead. Well, a semicircle, but they look like a wonky C instead. I start out good, but the thing was I was getting low on leaves. And yeah, I just had to stick them in here and there. I didn't have enough to pull out a little bit farther to make it look a little more rounded. And yeah, I didn't go back and make more. I figure when my family looks at the layout, they're not going to know it was supposed to be rounded, so it'll be okay. Let's see, I'm going to add a couple of more things to it. I'm going to start out with the little acorn, and it comes in two parts, and that is the diamond press one. I do have one that's bigger, but the funny thing is this is almost as big as some of the leaves on here, but it's the smallest acorn I've got. And I do believe the set it comes in is Christmas foliage, I think. It's not an autumn one, but it's probably discontinued because that's the way diamond press is. They don't keep anything very long unless you go to the Diamond Press website. They might have it there. I've noticed that they've had a few things that they quit having on HSN. And I did get this off of HSN. But I did mention this is a photo of my nephew and his family, and this was like at Thanksgiving, so it is autumn, so the leaves definitely work for this. And most of them are smiling. Yeah, a couple failed just a little bit. At least they weren't scowling, though. But a couple did really well. And it was a few years ago. His mom was the one who took the photo. Let's see what I'm doing now. Oh, this is the Martha Stewart pine branch, which is discontinued. And I cut it out in a light, kind of a tan color. But then I'm putting a little ink on it. I'm not being particular where. I'm just putting it on there just to give it some shading so it's not all one color. And then I'm just going to tuck it here and there in the layout and just to bring another color, a lighter color in. Jessie had, they're like little, they kind of look like brooches or something. They look metallic, and I thought about getting something like that, only I couldn't find anything that I thought would go with the leaves and everything. Either it was way off base or I just didn't think it'd go. So I will be using the hearts instead, and I used wood grain for them, and it's Simple Stories. And there's my title, and it is the top part's Spellbinders, and I cut it out twice and layered it. And then the bottom part is Tim Holtz, and it's a little tiny little alpha. Y'all know how much I love my Echo Park little alphas. Well, it's like 1 inch by 2 inches, little metal plate, all letters on the one die. I lost it. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, very upset. And I was watching Ginger's Crafty Corner, Scrappy Corner, Ginger's Scrappy Corner. And she had these little tiny dies, and I thought, oh, how I miss mine. So I had to order some, so she enabled me. And I got these, and I like them pretty good. I figure if I lose one, like the A's got 7, I got 6 more I can lose. But hopefully I'll find the other. They are actually bigger than these, I think. And I'm using some Spiegelmom scraps, and these are autumn pink. And I'm just going to scatter them around the layout. They're really tiny sequins, though. I think it had like 3 bigger gold ones, and I've used them already. But everything else, I think, is all the tiny ones. So it will take me a few minutes. However, I cut most of it out. So that's it. That's my layout. And yeah, you can tell I used hers as a scrap lift. You can tell. I can tell. But yeah, her title's all the way down at the bottom, and mine's up just a little higher and tucked underneath a couple of the leaves. And there's my hearts, and those are a lawn fawn heart, which I'm sure is discontinued too. And it comes in like a set of 6 maybe. And they're not all one die, but they're all connected and managed to have stayed that way all these years. But I did put some masking tape on them. And there are my leaves, and you can tell they're embossed. And it's okay if you're doing them and you tear your leaf. Don't throw it away. Just go ahead and ink it and use it anyhow. It just makes it look more natural. And there's my wooden hearts. And see, that one's got some of that chalkboard on there. You can tell I shook it a little too much, but it makes it look a little moldy. But if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But I hope you all have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. Check Jessie's channel out. Make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment and get in on the giveaway. And be sure to check out the Punched Out Thursday gang, my scrappy buddies that uses their punches and or dies to create their layouts. Bye!